Welcome once again to this channel. Certainly, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is a classic text that outlines strategies for gaining and maintaining power in various contexts, from personal relationships to business and politics. If you're new to this, check the channel for previous video. Thanks. Law 13, ask for help when you need it, but also know when to turn on the charm. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request, or in your alliance with him, that will benefit him, and emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. Law 13 emphasizes the importance of knowing when to ask for help and how to do it in a way that benefits you. Sometimes, just asking for help can be enough to gain someone's favor, but it's also important to turn on the charm and make them feel appreciated and valued. During World War II, Churchill asked for the help of the United States in defeating Nazi Germany. He knew that the US had the resources and manpower that Britain lacked, but he also knew that asking for help could come across as weak or desperate. To turn the situation in his favor, Churchill wrote a series of personal, charming letters to President Roosevelt, acknowledging the US's contributions to the war effort and expressing his own admiration and gratitude for their support. This approach not only helped secure US aid, but also helped build a strong alliance between the two countries. Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is critical. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask indirect questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. You must always be observant and carefully analyze the motives and intentions of those around you. This law could be seen in the actions of the character of O'Brien, played by Michael Emerson in the TV show Lost. O'Brien poses as an ally to the main characters, but in reality, he is working as a spy for the others on the island. Law 15, crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover, and will seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body but in spirit. It stresses the importance of not leaving any loose ends when it comes to defeating your enemies. You must never let your guard down and ensure that your enemy is entirely vanquished. A famous example of this law in action can be seen with the fall of Saddam Hussein. The United States was determined that he would be brought down, and they continued to pursue him even after he was overthrown in the initial invasion. Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. This law highlights the importance of creating distance and mystery to increase respect and honor. It is not always necessary to be present and accessible at all times. One famous example of this law in action is the character of the Phantom from the musical Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom goes to great lengths to remain elusive and distant, which only serves to increase the allure and mystique surrounding his character. Law 17, keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. This law stresses the importance of keeping others in a state of terror by remaining unpredictable and volatile. This unpredictability can serve as a valuable tool in maintaining authority. An example of this law in action can be seen with the character of President Frank Underwood in the TV show House of Cards. Underwood uses his unpredictability to keep his competitors off balance and unsure of what he might do next. Let's continue. Law 18, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Steve Jobs was known for being a charismatic and influential leader, but he also recognized the importance of collaboration. He famously said, "Great things in business are never done by one person. They're done by a team of people." Law 19, know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Muhammad Ali was not only a talented boxer, but also a skilled promoter and entertainer. He knew how to create hype around his fights, but he also understood the importance of respecting his opponents. He famously said, "I never thought of losing, but now that it's happened, the only thing is to do it right. That's my obligation to all the people who believe in me." We all have to take defeats in life. Law 20, do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Singer Frank Sinatra was a legendary performer who had many lovers and acquaintances over the course of his career. He was known for being charismatic and charming, but he also had a reputation for being aloof and difficult to get close to. He famously sang, "Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention." Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Warren Buffett is one of the most successful investors of all time, but he also has a playful sense of humor. He once joked, "I'm a great believer in solving hard problems by using a checklist. You need to get all the likely and unlikely answers before you select the best one. Second, you need to make sure the problem really is a problem." Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. Make surrender a tool of power. Nelson Mandela was a political prisoner for 27 years before he was released and became the first black president of South Africa. He used his time in prison to educate himself and became a powerful symbol of resistance and hope. He famously said, "It is never my custom to use words lightly. If 27 years in prison have done anything to us, it was to use the silence of solitude to make us understand how precious words are and how real speech is in its impact on the way people live and die." Thanks for watching and please subscribe.